My name is Valerie Haynes, and today I'll be preparing for you Steakhouse Mushrooms. One night when I was on my way home, I was having steak and I wanted to make sure that I collected all of the things that I love most about steakhouses into a side dish. So I've got blue cheese and green onions and the creaminess of Philadelphia cream cheese, and of course, portobello mushrooms. What goes better with steak than mushrooms, onions, and blue cheese? So first, what we want to start off with are 6 slices of bacon. Now I've got a little trick that I do where I put my bacon when I come home from the grocery store and I individually wrap it in saran wrap. This way it stays partially frozen, but it's so easy to cut. So we just need 6 slices. And we just want to cut these into bites that are going to be like miniature bacon bits when we're done. Okay, so I've got 6 slices of bacon, and I've got them in my pan, and I'm just going to cook these off and let all of the fat render out of them, okay? When you're all done, you just want to strain off the grease and hold on to about 3 teaspoons or 1 tablespoon of bacon fat. But I want to make sure that I don't have too much fat left over in the bacon, so I just put it on a little piece of paper towel. Next, we want to have our mushrooms. I've got 20 miniature portobello mushrooms. These are about 2 to 3 inch size. If you wanted to make 1 large portobello for each serving, you can do that as well. But these are perfect for a side dish or as an appetizer. So we just want to brush off any extra dirt that might be on these. You don't need to worry about washing them under water. Brushing them off is just fine. And then you want to be real gentle and just break out the stem. Okay, so I've got a bunch of these all ready to go. I'm just going to put a few on my baking tray. Now, what we need to do is we don't want to waste anything. So we've got our mushroom stems, and we're just going to cut off the end because those get dried out and they wouldn't taste very good. So we're going to slice these up. Again, just like the bacon bits, we want to slice these up into little bite-sized pieces. And we'll do one more. Okay. So you would actually have all 20 stems and you just want to put them in a pan. And then remember how we were talking about that reserved bacon juice? The fat, we just want to put a little bit right on top of those mushrooms, and that's going to help flavor them up, keep them from sticking to the pan, and it's going to help get that bacon flavor all the way through our filling. So we're going to cook those on medium heat, and we just want to cook them until a lot of that excess water is gone and they're a nice brown color. Alright, now we're on to the filling. This is so simple. I've got 8 ounces of Philadelphia cream cheese. You can either use the original 1/3 less fat or the fat-free. It's not going to hurt this recipe at all. To this, we want to add 1/3 of a cup of gorgonzola or any kind of crumbled blue cheese that you love. I like the gorgonzola because I think it's a little bit milder than like Stilton. I've got a 1/4 cup of sliced green onions. You just want to make them nice and thin so that they work their way all the way through the filling. We've got our reserved our reserved mushroom stems, and then 1/4 of a teaspoon of fresh cracked pepper. You don't need to worry about salting this. A lot of times you need to add a little bit of salt to the cream cheese to bring out the flavor, but because of that blue cheese that's in there, the gorgonzola, you don't have to worry about that at all. So now we just need to mix this up just until it's well combined. And then lastly, we just need to add our 6 slices of bacon. And then cream this all together. Okay, so we've got this all mixed together. I have this little scoop that I keep in my pantry just for cookie dough and things like this. It holds exactly 2 tablespoons. So it's the perfect amount for these little mushrooms. So you just want to scoop out some of your filling and then just put it right on top of the mushroom. And you can kind of press it down a little bit. You don't need to be real careful with these. They're going to stick and they're just going to hold right inside of where the stem used to be. Okay, so now we have our last step. I've got 1/3 of a cup of panko breadcrumbs. Those are those Japanese breadcrumbs that are extra crispy. We're going to take 2 more teaspoons of that reserved bacon grease and just pour it in. The reason we want to add bacon grease to our panko breadcrumbs is so that they brown up in the amount of time that it takes to cook the mushrooms. A lot of times if you don't put a little bit of grease on your breadcrumbs and the time that it takes for the breadcrumbs to get golden brown and delicious, your mushrooms would be overcooked. So now we've got that all mixed in. And now we're just going to take our mushroom caps and we're just going to dip them right in there. And because of that filling, they're going to stick perfectly. Alright, so we've got 20 mushrooms on an ungreased cookie sheet. You just need to bake these for 20 minutes at 375. When they're all done, they're going to be golden delicious, and you are never going to want for that steakhouse again. Here's what they look like when they're done.